Time for Bomber Banter. Now over to Fiona.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, Bomber Banter family. How are you all? Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Twix Awards show. Shortly, I will bring in my legendary co-host for this show. Hello, Maddie. Hello, Jade. Shaky Snake. Moby, thank you as always. You're not going to be here, but you'll catch it. Thank you. And hello, Brett. Good to see you. How's everyone feeling after the weekend, I guess, that was? I'm still feeling pretty buoyant and pretty positive, which feels much better than feeling shit. Hey, Fitzy, how you going? Thanks for being here. Now, Pommy and I, my co-host, we have decided to, even though it's no one can win the Twix award in terms of you guys, the competition, I should say, in order to make something somewhat of a official Twix award, Pommy and I have decided to actually award Twixes for the first 21 rounds. So I've delegated 3 games to Pom. Do any of you want to guess which 3 games I've delegated to Pom to take over? And I'm going to do the rest for the rest of the games. Hello, Corey. Hello, Pete. Thank you for being here. And so the Twix Awards will have an eventual end winner. But for now, welcome to Shaky Snake. No, we won't. I won't be doing that on streaming that. Don't you worry. A 9-hour stream. I won't be. We won't be streaming it. We've just done it in our off time. We've watched the games in our off time and doing them. And no, Langy, it's not the Blues game. That's my that was one of my games. It wasn't the Blue games, but I'll let Pom tell you. Welcome, Pom.
Hello, everyone. How are we all?
I was waiting for everybody to reply, and then I remembered that they can't reply.
I was going to say, I come up upbeat. You know, this is my favourite place to be. Like, do you know what I mean? I've only been here, twice now, but I'm genuinely enjoying it. So thank you for the lovely comments and shout out Brett Templeton.
I hope I'm not ruffling any feathers, but by bringing you over to the dark side, I hear there's some. Would we call it jealousy, or what would we call it? People who don't want to part with you. People just.
Hey, do you know what I mean? It's been discussed. There's rumours Pom's might be the third Blue to seek trades. I'd like to shut them rumours down viciously, but it's a pleasure to be here. I really enjoy spending time with you, Fiona, first and foremost, but enjoy this chat as well. They're all beautiful people. So I'm looking forward to this.
That's wonderful. And you know what? That's what we're all about in the end. There is no stealing. Rest assured, Carlton people, I am not stealing the great man. I'm merely sharing him with you, and there is so much Pom love and joy to spread around, and I'm taking a little piece of him because I think more and more people need to see the wonderful man and be exposed to the wonder that he is. I mean, I am so in on this. After I've banged up all my money for Florence after we win the premiership, I'm happy to pitch in for a Pom membership. But actually, no, then I'll start getting death threats from the Carlton fans. So maybe we'll go do that on the download.
I think we'll be all right. I mean, we are sat. There is rumours we are sat together in the Essendon game.
There is rumours, and I'm worried. Now I'm worried that people are going to come for me.
I'm more worried. I've heard your reputation of a right hook. So.
Oh yes. Anybody? Is there anyone of Solution may be in the chat? Don Caldwell may be in the chat. They can attest to the fact that when I get excited, and that is generally when my big ginger does something very cute and very exciting, I am prone to a smack in excitement. So, Jez, if you're in the chat, you can attest to that. So there may be some bruising, but as all good, I have pre-warned you.
Yeah, you have indeed. I'm in here, and Matt, honestly, nice. Look, it's good. You know what? It's character building, Matthew DeLuca. I watch my Blue Boys lose, and then I watch you guys lose, and it's character building. It's resilience.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I don't know. I mean, that's a very nice way to put it. But tell me, so Pom, obviously, if you don't know, Pom does a lot of draft work. And now, is that balancing out the pain that you're getting from your team at the moment? Is that bringing the joy factor up for you?
You know what? It's fascinating because this time last year, I did make the comment in my draft that I do the draft out of love because now Carlton are getting better. I'm never going to have to worry about the cool end of the draft.
Oh, no.
Fascinating that I am literally now at the dirty end of the draft again. 2 times, one for you guys and one for myself. So that's really exciting for me. It looks like I'll never leave the draft. So that's going to be good.
I mean, we love it. I absolutely froth at you and Felix. I listen with open ears and open mind because you just give me everything I need to know. Thank you so much, All Things Essendon. Much, much love. So happy to have you here. Yeah, absolutely, Shaky Snake. They really should be giving him some credit and or Muller for the work he does. All right, Pom. So I know you did a watch along for this game, didn't you? Oh, here we go, Pom. See, there we go. There we go.
Dear. I mean, hopefully he's rested that game. We can always hope for that. But no, I'm sure. Look, it won't be the first time I've been punched by a woman, and I hope it's not the last time. So I mean, that's it. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I mean, if we're losing very badly, don't get surprised if I start to storm off in anger and leave you there, Pom.
You're not allowed to do that, I'm afraid. Look, people who sit with me know the Pom rule, right? We stay till the job's done, and we have fun while we do it. We make sure we take the piss. Quite common. If those who sat with me last week will remember me bullying Terry for an hour.
True.
So that was a big thing with my group of mates and Carlton fans who were sat with me. I was like, can you imagine sat here and paid for it, but then look across at Terry and realize he turned down being a lawyer to do this for free? So who's the real idiot out of our group? And so, yeah, I'll just bully you. We'll talk about cakes or something like that.
But hang on, you said you stay put until the job gets done. What if my team doesn't get the job done? Can I leave?
No, you stay there. You got to support them.
I'll support them.
I'm not going to tease you.
Oh, yeah. You won't be one of those terrible Carlton supporters who rub it in my face because your team's no good either, so really.
No, I might just... I'll bully Peter Wright just for the reaction.
Okay, that's where I draw the line. That's when you get a storm out from me. There is no dissing or being mean to the big ginger.
We'll just talk about Archie Roberts then. How's that?
Okay, sure. Howdy. I realise you didn't say hello to me, cat across the ditch, but I'm going to say hello to you and just putting that up there. Oh, thank you, Mariella. I love you, and I hope you come with me on that Florence trip, okay? I think I now have $18 in the kitty, so thank you so much. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Tom, can you give us the English Premier League team equivalents for Essendon and Carlton and why? All right, before we start, answer this and I'll get myself ready for this.
Oh, gosh, this is hard. I would say I'm going to cheat, Don. So forgive me for cheating because I think having 2 big teams in a shit heap doesn't really happen very often in football. It's usually just one and we take it in turns. I would say early noughties Liverpool and now Manchester United. So I would say it's that Liverpool and Man United. Noughties Liverpool, today's Man United would be our 2 teams. I think we're Man United, a lot of false dawns, and Liverpool would be Essendon. Some real cheap fixes in the 90s to try and stay there or thereabouts, which has affected them towards the back end as the other teams start to pull away. But both manically passionate fan bases, and even though I hate Liverpool, I'm a Man United man, I would hate to see Liverpool like us because I witnessed that. And I'm sure if Liverpool fans are really Liverpool fans, they want to beat Man United at the top of the ladder. They don't want to beat Man United when we're pissing about in 15th.
Ah. Can you just educate me? How many teams in the Premier League? So what's the
20.
ladder? 20? And
38
is that,
games as well. We play twice.
I was just about to say, and is that because they've got their shit together and it's just everyone plays each other twice and it's nice and even and it makes sense? Is that right?
It is. It's very similar to the AFL though, in the terms of that money buys your success. So there's no surprise that Man City, Liverpool probably the dream for Carlton and your great club, because they have found a way to be incredibly affluent off the field, reap the rewards, but be structured around it. They're not just buying success, they're cultivating success. But there is a gap, there is a skill gap. So like there's only Everton and Arsenal are the two longest clubs in the Premier League. They've been in the old Division 1 for the longest. The rest have been relegated and been promoted since them two teams. So there is a gap, though. We call it the Big Six for a reason. It's probably not the Big Six anymore. It's probably the Big Four. I don't think you can count United and Spurs in the Big Six anymore. Hopefully this year, though. Hopefully my boys are back. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to.
Well, I actually did just see that Channel 9 are going to be showing a game every Saturday night on free to air for the first time in like years and years. But is that going to be live or is that a delayed game?
I believe it's live. I believe they're going to pick it, which is great for you guys and girls. Got to say, Stan Sport, that's who's got football now. It used to be Optus. If you are interested in that, I watched it last night for the first time.
Yeah.
On the new show, and totally different to Optus. It was actually works. So
we like a streaming service that actually works and does what it says on the tin, don't we?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Do you know what I mean? Hey, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Hey, it's not me, Adam. I didn't do it. Hey, I'll talk about what you want, but no, it is very.
Sorry, Adam. I think we just this is the show. Pom's feeling cheeky. We give away chocolates. This is not a serious show. We go wherever we're with the wind takes us.
I genuinely forgot we were live. I thought we were just in a coffee shop chatting rubbish.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is shaky snake. Exactly. This is exactly right. My poor nonna who was in the hospital during the round 1 Essendon Hawthorn game. They're mad Hawthorn people on Saturday night couldn't even watch it on free to air at the hospital because the AFL decided to take that. But yes, we can watch.
Does anyone else feel that is, before we get on to the actual show, is anyone else like taking that really offensively, that the TV doesn't want to show our two great clubs play on a Thursday, which I can't remember a time, like even when we were bad, like Carlton were really bad, like 18th, that game was always a game that I wanted to watch regardless. And all my mates did. I remember when we beat you in 2018, when we only won twice. That was one of the few games my mates were like, oh, I'm so amped about Bombers Carlton this week. Like, I think you might win, Pom. And I'm like, we've won one game. Oh, yeah, mate. We won. But this year, I've noticed it from my non-Carlton Essendon mates. They're like, oh, it's the worst game. What a shit way to start the week. I'm actually starting to notice how bad we've both become, that even the impartial doesn't want to watch either of us, even though we're about the same level, if we're honest. Like, it should be on paper. It's what, 14th, 15th? It's a ripping game, isn't it? Like, it's a ripping game.
But you know what, Pom? Like, I don't actually get it, because for me and chat, you could all be really, really you could be very different. But for me, I am most locked into a game when it's close. I don't care if it's 17th and 18th. If it's close, I probably look at, in terms of judging a game, is it close? Can either team win? And then is it a good spectacle in terms of a skills good? Are there some magical moments? But primarily, it's if the game is close, that it keeps my interest. This game will probably be close. So I don't actually get why they're not showing it, and they chose not to show it, because although it's a dead rubber and it's not going to affect finals, I actually think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think the ramifications of it are actually quite good as well, because I think if Essendon beat Carlton, Carlton have just backed Voss in. Like, I dread to see the article should we lose that. And
Yeah,
I
true.
think for Carlton, it's a game they can't lose. And yeah, I mean, talking about the round ball, I like hate watching teams. So
Oh, right.
Liverpool City, I hate both of them. I enjoy hate watching them because I'm hoping, like, something cataclysmic happens, an alien invasion happens, and 20 players are sucked off into the ether. So I'm sure the rest of Australia would be watching us going, this is going to be quality. Two teams I've brought up to hate. Can't wait to watch these two stink it up. So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And hey, Sean, how are you doing? Good to see you here. I get what you're saying, but I still think it's going to be close. And from a neutral's point of view, that's all you really want for a game. I reckon, and they will play on it. Like the broadcaster will play on it.
Yeah,
you're on fire today.
It depends. Do you think they talked about that? Have you met our board? I actually reckon it was only an hour of talking, and it was 4 hours Graham Wright communicating it using like other methods, like dancing, pop-up books, drawings. Like it would have been a very simple conversation, explained very complicated.
Yeah,
I agree, Sean. Sean, I'm the same as you. I hate watching the Blues too, because that's pretty much all I've done all year. So I'm with you,
I
mate.
think
It's great.
I had a great walk and talk with a friend today, and I was telling him that I think the universe is conspiring to potentially get us a win that we haven't had for 10 weeks. When we play Carlton, it'll be 11 weeks in a row that we haven't had a win, because it'll be Zach Merritt's 250th on the Carlton game, and we haven't won for 11 weeks. So I feel karmically and energetically that the universe is conspiring for this to happen.
Well, I mean, what helps you sleep at night? I'm not going to get in the way. I'll remember this conversation when we're sat together.
Oh no! Now I'm regretting that this is all live and on the internet, and someone's going to bookmark it and make a meme of me, and I'm going to disappear and into the ethos and never come back.
Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be fascinating. It's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. Look, the two games I look out for, and I'm sure Essendon fans will agree with me, is Collingwood, Essendon. They're the two games that I genuinely look forward to every year, regardless of if we're good or bad.
Yeah. All right, let's get stuck in. And yes, Langy, he does have a broken hand. He is going in for surgery this week, and apparently will be back against Carlton, most likely wearing a hand guard, a glove, Travis Cloak style. So that's how it is these days. They get him back.
What bow have we gone with? Have you got a bow in your hair?
Me?
Yeah.
A bow? No, it's just a clip.
I thought it was a bow. I was like, look at you being colour coordinated.
Just a clip, a nice little clip. Yes, all right, Pom, let's get down to it. Everyone's telling us to shut up and get on. So as you can see, these totals, I've still left them as what we did last week. But by the end of next week, Pom has said, and I have committed to getting these totals 22 games down. So we will have a very good idea of how the Twix, who's going to be King Twix by next week.
We could do it live in Brownlow style, so the chat don't know, and we can speed through.
Oh,
so it's like a Brownlow. You can wear a nice dress. I'll wear a tuxedo.
Love this idea. I'd love to get dressed up and go absolutely fucking nowhere, just to my lounge room.
Don't know if she's taking the piss, chat. You're gonna have to help me out if that's sarcasm.
Oh no, that wasn't something. The Twixlow! Pommy, the Twixlow. This is happening. Now it's happening. Why do you put these ideas in my head? Why do you put these ideas in my head? Oh my God, I will be in like the finest, as I am now, I will be in the finest dress, and then I have my pajama bottoms on for warmth. 100%. I reckon this.
I'm going to enjoy that. She's wearing a classy dress, but underneath she's got Ugg boots and
I
fluffy
do.
teddy bear pajama pants quality.
Literally. Well, actually, I have these. I'm in rotation. I stick to my rotation. So whatever's first in, first out, with whatever's at the top of the pile. And the top of the pile was the Bomber pajamas this weekend. So got the Bomber pants on. Anyway, enough of what I'm wearing. Get your minds out of the gutter. Let's get to it. Let's start as usual with the mids/ruck. Starting with the captain, the one who is in for surgery this week and won't be there against St Kilda for us. How did you see his game, Pom? I probably thought I didn't realise how good his effort was until I watched the replay. I think he was still down in terms of his output of what we expect of him. The expectations being quite high, and I don't think he's quite got to that level. But I did like his body language. I've said in past weeks that his body language has been a bit sooky. He's done a lot of eye rolling, a lot of shrugging, and I understand the load that is the mental load that is on his shoulders this year. And but I haven't loved it, and I thought on this game he was much better. How do you see his game?
I really liked him. Like, just when I first watched the game, I thought he was involved in everything good, particularly when you turned it round and you had that spurt. I thought he was the driving force behind it. And I do like a captain who takes the back seat as well and allows Andrew McGrath did a lot of the work. Archie Roberts was brilliant as well. So I always think that's a big part of leadership. My big hate with captains is the captains who feel like they've got to do it, where the best captains, Trent Cotchin, would sit back and let his boys do it, and he'd be the provider. So I really like this. So he's definitely in my Twix votes this week.
Yeah, I would say a 1, but do you think more than a 1, or is that?
You know what? I think we should go 1.5. Oh, we can't do halves, can we?
No halves. Sorry. For those of you who are new here, it's 5 Twix, 4, 3, 2, 1, or half.
I think 2 Twix is Captain Fantastic. Come on, help me out.
Easy. Yep.
Oh,
all right. Let's. Oh, I've already done it, but yeah, okay. Pete was the first man in. Pete was the first man in, so we're going with that. Oh boy, this next guy. Now, we caveat that he's not playing in his most prominent position where he would excel. However, I've come to the conclusion that he's not going to be at Essendon next year. And so how do you see this guy?
Watching this, he works so hard for little return. And do you know what I mean? You can see he's working overtime. He is doing his job. It's just not very good. And I always look at it this way. If you're looking busy and not doing anything, is that structure or are you just rubbish? And I hate to say this about Hobbs. I just don't think he's AFL level. I think it's a mistake. And I watched this and I was like, oh, he's got 2 weeks to turn into prime Gary Ablett. I think he's in trouble.
Yep, I agree. It was a big 0 for me. And I just think his one-dimensional, traits are really being exposed in the modern game. If you can't be in your suited position, you have to be able to have at least one other string to your bow, at least one other place where you can make a difference to your team. And
I agree. And I can see his game, and I agree with Don. It is a bit of a wasteland, but even when he does find the ball, it's not even a half forwards option he's taking. It just seems very insular. It looks like Nick Graham. The best way I could describe it is Nick Graham, who played VFL and you thought, oh, hang about, he's got something. And then he went on the AFL field and you were like, I do better than him. I think some people are just too good for VFL. That AFL, though, is too good, too hard. And I agree with Adam. I think too many position shifts.
Yeah.
He's got no continuity. He's been found out.
Yeah, agree. All right, now this next guy is probably the only other player on the field that I thought had a worse game than Ben Hobbs. It's a big 0 again for me, and not just because he almost killed his teammate, but because I think his time at Essendon is done.
Can I give negative here?
Because I know.
You know what got me about Dylan wasn't so much he pushed Lowell. It was the lack of care factor after doing it. Like, he spent longer remonstrating with the umpire than he did trying to see if his mate had died. Right?
Yep.
Which to me, I think that says more about Dylan Shield as a human being. He's a senior player. I watched Tim Kelly this week, who is in a Dylan Shield position. The team has spent way too much money on him, and he tried everything he could to beat Adelaide. Like, that's what you're paying him them big bucks for.
Yeah.
Dylan, he looked like he couldn't give less of a cahoot, and that worries me.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I'd probably say that throughout his whole career, and that's probably a little bit harsh. And I don't want to dig too much into him because I really had a go at him on the forecast recording today. But I tweeted that the thing I hated most about the incident with Dylan Shield is that while his teammate and his Bebe teammate at that, his 6-gamer teammate, lay on the ground, all fours, writhing for breath, writhing in pain, he was a step away from the umpire and from his opponent. And I don't give a shit if your opponent is on the ground with a paper cut or he's got a sniffle down there. You bend down and you put a hand on his back to check that he's okay. So I'm sorry, Dylan Shield, that was really bad form. And as I said on Twitter, culture is built in those small moments, and Dylan Shield ain't it for me. And I hope he'd watch that and feel really regretful about it.
Yeah, all right. It's the little things, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All righty. Andy McGrath. Now, he had a great game for me. I feel like he looks a bit refreshed going through the middle. I think he gets a really, really hard task down back, and I've said it before, but his stuff-ups down back are amplified because they usually lead to a goal, an opposition goal. And so we all look at it and think, oh, my God, Andy again. But he looks like he's got a new lease on life in there, and he's weaving in and out, and his little 360 circles that he does, run around in circles, they actually, there's a rhyme and a reason to it in the midfield for some reason.
Yeah. We talked about it last week about we didn't like him at half back, and I had that thing. If you drafted as a midfielder, you've got to play midfield. And yeah, you saw he's a midfielder. I agree exactly what you said, Fiona. I think his shortcomings are easier to defend when it's in the middle of the park as opposed to when it's the last line of defense. I'm going to be controversial here. I feel like it's a 3.
Oh, yes, Don is with you on that. I was going to say 2, but I'm in a good mood, so I'm more than happy to throw you the reins. All right, that takes Andy up to a 5 just for the last 2 games. So, whoa.
Big Andy. All you needed is Pom to be your mate, and you were good.
That's right, and some Twix love. That's all. That's all
he needed.
All right, now we're on to the bow and arrow. I don't think we actually got the bow and arrow after his goal, which I'm very upset about. Maybe the camera didn't pan to it. Was anybody at the game in our chat? If they were, did the bow and arrow come out after his goal? Because it was a great mark, and I hope it did come out. But I don't know. How'd you see Zave's game?
We were fuming on the live. All I wanted was the bow and arrow. You know what I'll say? Something's weird about Dersma because throughout this game I didn't notice him.
Yeah.
And there's certain types of players that I don't want to use this term negatively, which is downhill skiers. But I think it's actually a compliment sometimes. I think there's a lot of players in the world of sport are brilliant when it's going well. And I thought when you were on top, Dersma was a key part of it. He was a key part of it. He was that little link-up guy. But there's just something missing about him. I'll say what I said last week. It feels like he's playing within himself because he took that opportunity really well. Yeah. He does the little things. He never stops running. I don't know if it's the structure, the way you play, but he's so much more better than he is now.
Oh, okay. Great. We've got our number one fan here. Jade said, you filmed it. You were at the ground, of course, and he didn't do the bow and arrow. That's very upsetting. Very upsetting. But perhaps he was feeling like he hadn't had a great game. It feels like he kind of does it when he knows he's not earned the goal, but he's having a good game. I don't know. So is it a 0 for him?
Oh, I think for Patches, it's probably a 1, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? Okay. I liked him. He's running and he was always there. I thought I thought when you were good, he was good.
Yeah.
I agree with Richard. He works hard up and down there. Some of them, he don't get the reward, but I feel like he's a 5 when he's on.
Yeah, 100%. Well, speaking of working hard, this guy kind of personifies that, using his body as a wrecking ball. He's so funny because he's tactfully clumsy in that if he can't, at a stoppage, if he can't actually get the ball, he'll just throw his body at the contest and at the stoppage, and just in a clumsy way, but in a legal way. And I think that's quite. I wouldn't put a high IQ necessarily against Sam Durham, but I think that's quite good.
You know what? He would probably be in the top 3 players on the ground for me for Essendon. I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd got a coach's vote. I know he didn't, but I thought he was overrun in that midfield, and at times he was the only one who was looking to stop that exit.
Yes,
I thought at times he looked better than old Bailey Smith when he matched up on Bailey Smith a few moments. I thought he gave him some problems, and you saw Bailey Smith be deployed elsewhere. I like Durham. Hobbs needs to watch Durham. I think Durham is incredibly limited too. Difference is he's added layers since he's come in. He's got the nuances where Hobbs still looks like the overgrown 18-year-old that got drafted. Durham looks like he's adapted to do this against men. And that's
does that mean you think Hobbs doesn't have it in him to do that? Do you think if Hobbs went to another team, for example, if Hobbs went to Collingwood, would he develop that second string? Are we not holding him to high enough standards? Is that what you think it is?
Sometimes I think it's in here, Fiona. I watch a lot of draftees. So Sam Cumming this year.
Yes, love him. Love the look at him.
He's built like a man playing against children. The big question for Cumming is, can you do that when the guy you're about to bump is 28 with a mortgage and a bad attitude? It's all right doing it to a 17-year-old. Do it to a man. And what I like is Durham has added them layers, but he's still got that confidence. He attacks what he sees. And I think that's something in here. And I think that's a big thing with Ben Hobbs. I don't think Ben Hobbs quite has it here.
And that's Durham not something you can teach. Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So Durham a 3 or a 4, you reckon?
You know what? I'm feeling good. Let's give him 4.
All right. Yeah.
That midfield was class. Geelong's midfield is world class.
Yeah, we also have to take into account the opposition up in there. So, I mean, this guy, tough night for him. I would say a 0. I think he's probably battling at the moment with the game plan and where to actually go to, and then he almost got killed by his teammate. So, I think a tough night for him overall, but I think he's got some work to do in the off season.
You know what? I'm gonna make a suggestion. 0.5 for Lowell.
Yeah, I did love how he just bounced up and he didn't stay down there at all.
Is I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
and he got up, he jogged off.
Yeah.
You know what? Courage.
Yes.
Because he's game. I like Lowell. Let's give him 0.5 because I tell you what, if you fall asleep for a second, you deserve half a vote.
Yeah, and he wanted to play on. The trainers actually had to pull him off, so he definitely gets that for the courage and toughness. All right, Angus Clark. I thought he had a quiet game. I didn't actually notice him much at all.
This was one of them games that probably could have been spot on. That's how it is. Shaky snake. I'm the same.
Nailed it, Shaky.
And it's not a Twix. It's half a Twix. I've eaten the other half. So,
it's just few of these little crummies.
Yeah. I'll give him the bit that I don't want. But yeah, Gus Clark. I don't think this is one of his games. It kind of annoys me because I felt he was one of the few players who has talent, was anonymous when they were on top. I didn't notice him. I noticed him when you were struggling, but his skill set is when you're exciting.
Yep. Yeah, true. All right. Now, the big gold. First half, let's put that in the bin and pretend it never happened. I reckon he did a few little nice things in the second half. Probably not enough to get a Twix, but I saw some nice little moments from the old gold.
Yeah, he's going to be interesting, isn't it? Like, what do you do next year? I think the sands of time are unbeaten, aren't they? And it feels like it's slowly wearing out. He was serviceable, but
Yeah.
I always say this: I worry if you don't beat Geelong's rucks.
Yeah. I mean, Lee Stanley.
Stanley,
I mean, now
even...
he's like, what, 4,000 years old?
Yeah,
Does
I'm
this
not
change
sure
your
he's
mind
doing
on Clark, Pommy? The 22 pressure acts. I mean, you love your stats and your data. Are we being harsh?
Look. I mean, he's playing a defensive role, though. I agree with you, Don, but I feel like he's got to get that two-way running, which we saw a couple of games ago. When I did that video on him, you saw it. I felt like there was times when he got them balls as well. There were 17 touches. There's a bit more dynamism in him, and I didn't see it. It felt very ball retention as opposed to impact, and I think he's more than capable of being better.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty, I'll take it over to you to look after the chat for a hot minute while I get our defenders up on the board.
You know what? I am looking forward to talking to one man who was heavily targeted during your best things. Led the ground on being targeted this week. 18 handball receives. Always turns me on. More than Max Holmes and Bailey Smith. And I was not surprised to see him get a lot of hype this week. My favourite player. So I'm looking forward to talking about him. But chat, it was your favourite mid-ruck. You're all giving a lot of love to Goldstein. You want Goldie to have a chocolate? Look at your chat. Can't just give them out. This isn't under 5 reception class. Well done, you've been a good boy. You stayed quiet for your dentist appointment. Come on, chat. Good stat though, actually, from Don. I agree, Adam. We do like a pressure act stat. We do like a pressure act.
I do. I do like it. Yeah.
I am a big pressure act man myself. My only reservation, though, when we look at pressure acts from players is, do they convert them into a lot of tackles and free kicks? Is my only thing.
And is that an actual stat we can look at, or do you have to actually go back and count them all?
No, you just look, see, do these pressure acts represent his tackles? So 22 pressure acts. Remember, you get a pressure act nowadays for corralling, which is pretty much being in the eyesight of the kicker, and the one tackle. Like that reminds me of early Ollie Hollands games. I've seen a few Carlton chants in here, Bugs Bell and Matt Lang. That was one of my criticisms of Ollie Hollands. 30 pressure acts, one tackle. Like, well done, you've been close. Want you to impact, though. Pressure acts do some things. And I agree. And Adam, I agree. Gus Clark is a baby, but they're the type of games. Do you know what I mean? They're the type of games that I feel like Angus Clark's skill set helps him. Being in and around them, he's a guy who can turn defense into attack. I don't think he did it this week. And I'm a big lover of Gus Clark. He's one of my boys from the draft. Just felt that was an okay game. Inexperienced.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, no. What has she done here?
Oh, I thought that was how it was looking. I was like, oh, look at her. She's very good.
I shared the wrong screen. I tell you what, I'm still a novice.
I can still chat. You know what, Goldie, though, to be fair to him, he is 900 years old. The fact he's still kicking is amazing. You know what I always find funny, and this is just me because I'm not an Essendon fan, but you know when you watch him walk through the banner, genuinely looks like it. My granddad, he had dementia, and he had like the walking stick, and he'd get lost. It reminds me of when my pop used to go out for a walk and then have an episode and get lost. It's like that kind of like little unsure walking. So it always amazes me Goldie can play 4 quarters. God bless him.
What's going on here?
Has Carlton faithful turned on Adam Sard? I don't know if it's turned on Adam Sard. I've been heavily critical of him, Don. My issue is a player like that. One, full caveat, I hated it when we traded him, because why the hell do you pay a first-round pick for a halfback? Everyone's a halfback in the draft, and it usually means you're a failed midfielder with speed. And two, when you're being paid the big bucks, you've got to blow the game open. I've always thought he's a very average halfback, with all respect to Adam Sard. I think he's just a quick, which great. So I feel like Carlton fans are starting to come round to seeing halfback is the most important position on the football field now. How are we doing, Fiona? You look very concerned.
I've lost my train of actually what to do. I'm sorry, Pom. This is taking longer than it should.
That's all right. Hey, take your time. No, so make sure that you've gone full screen on one Canva. Remember?
Yes, I do remember that.
That's all right. Yeah. No, I agree, Adam. I think Angus Clark will be a great player. I think if you go back and watch my draft previews, I was huge on Gus Clark. Gus Clark and Archie Roberts in the last few drafts have been my favourite little players. I love Gus Clark. I'm more critical of him because if I like you, I know what you're capable of. And I felt like Gus Clark in 2 years' time will tear that game open.
Let's see.
Albert, I couldn't agree more. I actually, when I was doing your draft today, I did my mock draft. Right? When I did the mock draft, I was actually looking at, who I'd really like at your club, Harley Barker. Now, I know he's out injured most of next year, but he's one of my favourite draftees. I think Harley Barker would be a great get for you because I think you've always tried to get him, that tall, nippy winger, which everyone's gone for. I don't think you've got it yet. So I think I would agree with that. Tell us a story. What do you want to hear? How did I meet my missus? Okay. So long story short, where I was working, I was having a bit of fun, let's put it that way. And my boss, put us together, and that was it, really. It's not a great story. Shout out Nathan, though. If it wasn't for my best mate, Nathan, I wouldn't have met her. So there it is. Harley Reid, he will go pick 15-25. He'll probably slide. You usually find with the degree with you. I think on talent, he's a top 20. I think he'll be around that middle portion. Nick Cox. Yeah, Don. You see, that was genius, that deal. But in hindsight, probably the wrong bloke. I agree. Brilliant. Silvani coming over to Essendon. It would break my heart, but I will say we have our own rating system, which is very similar to AFL ratings. And I probably shouldn't say this out loud because Carlton fans will probably want to off themselves. So I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but who cares? I'll do it. But he's actually the 11th most important defender in the league because of how he affects the defenders around him. So it's one of the hardest positions to find in today's AFL draft, which you're seeing Collingwood have an issue with, is a defender who can...
Hallelujah! Sorry, continue.
A defender who can actually defend. So all the defenders now are like Harry Dean, Sam Taylor. They play loose. Problem is they're great if you don't have a defender that can defend. So like Darcy Moore at the minute, issue with Darcy Moore is great intercept defender. You make him defensively accountable, shithouse. So I think it's a big loss for Carlton. My issue is you can't pay that much money. You probably need him more than we do. So yeah, good. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, people. That took way longer than what it should have at this point in time. Alrighty.
I can ramble. Defenders. So there it is.
Now, should we just not even talk about this guy and just give him 5? Like, what is even the point, right?
This guy is another level. Like, honestly, like loved him in the draft. Like, makes me happy. Makes me incredibly happy. And the fact you're playing through him really gets me excited. Young kid getting that responsibility. I thought
they already trust him. Yeah, they already trust him.
Like the calmness under pressure as well for a baby.
Yes, I just
10.
100%. Brad Scott talks in these press conferences about how valuable his last handful of games. I think he had, how many did he have in the end, Scooter or anybody in the chat last year? I think he had like maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 at most. And he says how that held him in such good stead going into preseason and the start of this season because he just knew what he was coming up against. He knew about the harder bodies and what AFL requires of you. And he's now flourishing. I'm just so excited to see where like his heights, because I still think he's got heights.
Oh, this is the worst of Archie Roberts.
Yeah.
That needs to sink in. Like this time next year, we'll laugh at how bad he is now because there'll be more layers. What I love about Archie is something that not many people do when they're young. Is he never stands still when he doesn't keep running in a straight line when he receives the ball. He's always looking to move and change the angles. Superstar. Like you look at all the best teams in the league, they have an Archie Roberts. Archie Roberts will be a superstar, absolute gem. Unlucky he won't win the Rising Star because I think there'll be a bias because Dan Curtins plays for a top 2 team. But
that's not fair.
Yeah,
I mean, surely Archie Roberts gets credit because he's in a bad team and actually being good in a bad team. That's why when I tell people that 2 Meter Peter kicked 50+ goals and almost won a Coleman medal, came 5th in the Coleman medal in a team that finished so low on the ladder and was generally shithouse, is such an incredibly good feat that people don't actually get that about when I tell them that.
When you compare players, I always like to refer to my grandfather here. He used to, he worked in recruitment in soccer in the 70s, so it was a long time ago, obviously. But he always used to say, when you compare a player, it's all right getting excited when he plays for a good team. Imagine him what would he do for the worst team in the league?
Yes,
swap them round. So swap them round this week. So the best player on the ground, right, was a play for them. Was Sean Manor, according to the AFL ratings.
Right, okay.
Can you imagine swapping them round? Archie Roberts would have done everything he did for Geelong and more. Can you imagine Manor having to feed off some of the crap you guys produced in the first half?
No chance he's kicking 3 goals. Yeah.
Yeah. Where I think Archie Roberts, we would have probably been talking about 3 Brownlow votes if he played for Geelong because he would have had better players around him.
Spot on. All right, now let's go to this next guy, Mason Redman, who I think is doing quite well at the moment, undermanned back there. I reckon he and Jaden Laverty are holding that back line up from a leadership point of view pretty well. And I thought in the last couple of weeks, we're just starting to see a bit of old Mason come out. I don't know if it was enough for half a Twix or so, but I quite liked his body language and the vibe, given that these Twix Awards have the caveat of vibe going off a vibe as well. How do you see his game?
I like, you know, when I watch these games, I'm starting to get a real soft spot for you guys because I've already tonight called them us and we.
Oh, no. Oh, we love that. I think it's working. Yes.
It's already starting to sleep into my head. Right. But when I look at this, one thing that annoys me is Redmond was probably one of, I think you might be the only one, bar Merritt, who was like over the age of 25.
Yeah.
That I felt like, yes, you're setting a standard here. You're going above and beyond. I think he deserves a vote, a Twix.
Yep. I agree.
He was tireless. He was tireless. Yep. He worked hard, and I felt like he was the standard.
Yep, I completely agree. And I'm really pleased for him because he gets a lot of crap, and you probably wouldn't have heard a lot of this. But since he signed his contract, and since Nick Martin got moved to the back line, he's been asked to play a more accountable defensive role rather than that interceptor because they love the Martin and Ridley doing that intercept role because they find them more damaging. So Red Dogs had to pivot a little bit, and he's had to find his new feet, and he probably hasn't, warmed into the role, as well as we'd love him to. But that's the reason I'm liking what I'm seeing now. When the chips are down, when they're undermanned, he's not just sitting back and saying, "Oh, woe is me." His body language his energy never dropped, and I loved that. And same could be said for this guy who is battling manfully. And doing the best he can. I don't know if he's maybe half a Twix.
He's fascinating, Laverty, isn't he? Because 1 minute he does like a spoil in between Cameron and Neil. And you're like, that was pretty impressive. And then he drops an uncontested mark and you frantically have to clear it. But I'll say this. He is what he is. He's a 5 out of 10 footballer. Trust me, before the game, I think he deserves half a vote. I agree, Bomber Fanatic, because at the start of the game, It was how many will Cameron kick? And,
yes, true.
And he didn't kick the 12, 13 goals. Like I heard Lloydie saying, like, there's got to be a fear that it might become the Jeremy Cameron show. Well,
Yeah.
he was kind of anonymous for large parts of this game, so credit to him.
Yeah. Now this guy, gosh, I'm loving him. He's just personifying for me that Gen Z. I don't give a fuck. I belong here and I'm staying, and I don't give a shit what you say to me or what you think of me. I'm taking up space on this field, and he's just personifying that for me. I just love the way he struts around on that football field in game number 2. Jaden Ewan.
We gave him credit last week for starting fights and not being scared, and he backed it up again. I mean, they're a formidable side, Geelong, very experienced. You'd look across and you have right to be intimidated. It was a 25-year-old team against a 27-year-old team, Geelong. That's a lot, nearly 3 years older than you. So, 2 years older than you. That's a lot, do you know what I mean? And that's something that for a young kid could be quite intimidating. I thought he was brilliant. He does all the hard stuff. I think next year, another year in the system, I think he's going to be quite an accomplished footballer.
Yeah, I reckon he's the kind of player that Brad Scott would just love coaching, would just love it.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those players that's annoying because I think from a statistical point of view, he'll always have shit stats.
Yes, so true.
I think he's always going to make you earn it. And you know what? Watching them, they had to earn it. And I agree, Richard. Look, no one kicked a goal on him, and that's 2 weeks, 2 very good footballers.
Exactly. He's not going up against, and this week he'll get another challenge, which that's the part I'm loving. Hearing Brad Scott and Roberts say how good getting 4 games at the end of last year was. This is Jaden Ewan 2.0. Think of how Jaden is going to be at the start of next year, and hopefully against Hawthorn round 1. He'll be playing on Nick Watson, essentially, and that is all of a sudden I feel a little bit more buoyant and safe down there. So this guy's interesting. I thought he had quite a good game. However, his opponent did get at the back of him quite a lot, and he was lined up on Manor a lot of the night, and Manor did get the sneaky at the back goals. So I'm not sure his positioning was great, but I thought his intent was pretty good.
Yeah, Manor's got a great habit of leading you into deep waters and asking questions, and genuinely you don't have the answer. I thought he battled hard throughout the week, but sometimes it felt like he backed himself to get the wrong ball.
That's
sometimes right. I like the endeavour, but you can't get caught out. So it was a tough night for the backman. Does he deserve a vote? I'm not too sure. I felt like out of all of them, he had the easiest job versus his experience.
Yeah, I think Manor's a very good player, but when you consider that the second gamer was on Tyson Stengel, who's magic, and Laverty was on Cameron, who's magic, and Neil in his own right, and then Myers, and so I think 0 for him for this game personally. How'd you see Lockie Blackiston's game? He had a tough old night, poor guy. I think Shannon Neal takes two marks, kicks 2 goals in the first quarter, and he was getting really down on himself. And you know who the first bloke was over to him when he smacked his leg when Shannon Neal got the second mark? Try and guess from this list who was the first bloke over to him to say, "Don't worry, relax, you're right."
Archie.
Correct, Archie Roberts, the first one over to tap him on the head and say, "Just it's okay, stay in the moment."
Tough. I mean, you're looking at a forward ruck who 6 months ago was probably working part-time at Ozpost. He's now in the AFL big time. And he's been jettisoned a key defender against Neil. I think people forget Shannon Neal is a very, very good footballer. But what I enjoyed about him is most defenders, can you imagine, Shannon Neal looked like he could have had 8.
Yes, early. Yep.
He never gives up, and we complimented him this last week I love the fact he never gives up, and that's why he'll get better. He's upset, he's angry, he's competitive. Yep. Horrible job. Like, I couldn't think of a worse game to go in without a recognised key defender, really. If you look at that back six, like Laverde's most teams' third, fourth depth.
Easily.
And he's going against Neil, who everyone was saying has replaced Hawkins. You listen to Geelong, and Cameron, who people were suspecting would get 20 this week. So no votes, but full credit to him. Like,
earns a lot of respect.
Yeah, like takes a bit to front up.
Yes, I think so. All right, let's see if Fiona can.
While you do that, I do feel sorry for Blackiston. Like, I mean, it just shows they're the kind of people that I think he would be an immediate make sure you keep. You want them kind of people that no ego, probably dreamt of playing forward ruck, asked to do a job key defender. And I actually think he doesn't actually look that bad. I think long term, keep working with it, he could be quite the footballer. I really do like. A little bit of Blackiston. He doesn't look out of place. Like, you don't watch Blackiston. Chat, let me know. Am I chatting rubbish? I don't look at him and think, oh, shit, he's a forward who's been asked to play key defender. He actually looks like he's key defended. Like, he doesn't look like he's a complete amateur. So I do like him. Something about him. Something nice about him. What have we got in chat? Lunchtime catch-up. You thought Pryor had an off game? He's an interesting one, Pryor, isn't he? Because I think you've got to be quite harsh on him if you want to set a standard of him. If you want to set a standard for Jackson Pryor, you've got to think you've come in late into the piece from an established club. You're the standard setter. You're the culture edition. So I feel like you've got to be mean on him. You've got to be kind of mean. What can Blues do to get Archie? What, Archie Roberts?
Stay away. You stay away. Who said that? Who said that? Langy, I knew that was you. Langy, I knew. I'm not even in the screen, and I knew that was you. Cheeky. You stay away.
It'd be a lot, I'll tell you. It'll be a lot. You don't trade them. Remember Uncle Pom's words. We don't trade them types of players. You can draft them. There's loads of them. You just got to do it.
You reckon there's loads of Archie Roberts out there?
They're a common attribute.
Right.
You can find them.
Right.
You've just got to take the chance.
Right. All righty. Well, in a shock, I'm ready to go with the forwards. Now, the big man, the big 2-meter man, who is just so beautiful in every single wonderful way, right from the tippy top to the bottom of his 2 meters or top of his 2 meters, whatever, float your boat. He was okay, and even I believe not Twix worthy. But Brad Scott was very happy with his game. He gave him a shout out even in the presser. And I will say that 2-meter Peter is still staying on top of his second efforts. He's still doing absolutely wonderfully in his leadership down there. However, if he doesn't kick goals against Carlton and nails his goal-kicking routine, which is gone, safe to say, off the jetty shore, somewhere into oblivion, then I'm going to be real fucking mad.
I feel like you're just going just to watch him kick goals. Yeah, it won a great game from him. I mean, he held an end up. We're going to talk about the key forward that took the piss in this game, but yeah, he was okay. But felt like he could have had more there. I always look. This is probably a simplistic way. I always feel like Geelong give you looks if you can get through that midfield. And
yeah, but not when you kick it straight to their defenders and they've got 15,000 million intercept defenders down there. You just take your pick.
100%. I just felt like you want him to impose. Don't you? I'm always harsh on the over 25s. I didn't feel like he imposed as much as the others did.
Yep. I know. All right.
I did as well. I was expecting a song.
Hey, I'm not the singer in our that solutions that's his area, and I don't like to sway him in terms of where he goes with his songs. But if I would ever write a poem, and Pom here is actually a wonderful poem writer and could be a poet. He's so poetic in his nature, and maybe one day I'll pay Pom to write me a beautiful 2 Meter Peter poem. I don't know. I just something about 2 Meter Peter is just. I just love him. But yes, I would say probably not enough for a half a Twix, right?
Yeah, I can't give him one.
Okay. Now this guy I'm happy to give 5 Twixes to because wowee, he went through the midfield again and he looked like he'd been playing there for 50 games, Pom. I don't know what you thought.
There's a trend, isn't there, at the minute? There is a trend in the AFL of bringing these points of difference through the midfield, and it's going to get worse. We're going to see it more. I don't want to build this guy up too much, but it did give me Rankine vibes, like long term, because you saw he had it. What I really enjoy is when you look at these small players through the stoppage, one of the best players I have seen in the last 10 years around stoppage, particularly centre clearance, is players like Tuke Miller. And
yes,
Tuke Miller for a while was
great
unplayable, right? Because of how he attacked, right? How he attacked the ball. He goes direct line really hard.
And he's so powerful through the hips.
And he's just got to get it all together. Probably, I'm going to say, let's give him 3. Because this is a vibe award. There's no data required. He was excited.
Yeah, I just love his attitude too, Pom. He is, and this is another guy that Brad Scott would so desperately just love coaching as well, because he's like a sponge, and I spoke about it on the recording of the forecast today, but he's like a sponge, Kako. He's so open to whatever learning and whatever's going to make him a better player. He doesn't care. I know that's the old adage that I don't care where they play me so long as I get to play and it's good for the team, but that's not true. Let's be honest. Most players don't actually think that. The vast majority of players are happy playing in one spot and believe that they belong and should be played in their, most in the spot that they're going to excel at. Kako is not like that. His ability to just go where he's needed. His attitude is wonderful. And as Scotty says, as Scooter says, this is his first year and he's played every game, Pom. And he's not just playing now. He's been moved into the midfield.
And you've got the biggest compliment you can pay him is after 5 minutes, Chris Scott made a change. He pulled Dempsey in off the wing, who was notoriously a tackle beast, to go with Tommy Atkin to try and stop that direct line of attack. So that's a big compliment. Great. They don't often go super defensive, but for once, they had to put some kind of little block on it. So that's a huge compliment, Chris Scott, to do that. Like when Chris Scott's making adjustments on the fly.
Yeah.
You're doing it. So I liked it.
100%. Yeah. All right, this next guy. Now, this guy sat on Tom Stewart for a little bit, and then he sat on Guthrie for a little bit. I thought in a back line that intercepted pretty much absolutely fucking everything because our midfielders and halfbacks kicked it directly to them. I thought he probably did a pretty good job on Tom Stewart, who took a couple of intercepts and took a few intercepts, but wasn't, I would say, overly dominant in other areas. What did you think of his game?
Yeah, he wasn't. I'd say Tom Stewart wasn't at his prolific best. It's fascinating that people are starting to play this tag on Tom Stewart. Carlton likes to play Chin Cotter, Pom Cotter on him. And for some reason, Tom Stewart can't handle it. And Guelphy, I think, is very similar to my Pom Cotter.
Yeah.
What he lacks in skills, he makes up for in the fact he's probably stolen his nan's wallet once. So I like that actually from him. It wasn't a great game, though, from Guelphy, because as Carlton fans who are in chat will attest, particularly Langy, I hate guys who just play negative roles. And I feel like Guelphy plays that negative role. And I think that holds Essendon back. I really do. I think you'd be better off playing someone just to play an actual attacking role in this. But
so does that mean you're against the tagger as well?
Yeah, I think the modern day tag is, you look at the modern day taggers in today's game, Cooper Lord's job this week on Noah Anderson, you can get the ball. Good taggers now get the ball. Good stoppers get the ball. You look at Tommy Atkins, he plays that run with role. He can still pick up 25.
It's the same with Caldwell for us. He can still dominate so much.
Yeah, Jai does it amazingly.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think if I was coaching Essendon, I'd like to see this in an attack role. We're here to kick goals. We'll get you in the midfield. So, yeah.
Look, I think ideally, and when he's played his best, he does put 2 goals on the board as well as shutting down an Oppo, defender. But no, he doesn't do it enough, and he certainly didn't do it enough. Now, this next guy, he had 1 quarter, hard to judge, but he most likely won't be on the list next year. So I think we leave him at a 0.
Absolutely kills me, Jai Menzies. Absolutely. Watching him play football kills me.
It's actually painful.
There's some players that you watch in the draft and you always question. And I remember Menzies' draft, and it's like he kicked some goals, but he reminded me of Matt Owies. And I remember doing a draft profile on him, that Matt Owies would kick a goal out the back. It looked brilliant, but I was like, what happens if them goals out the back aren't there? And you see it in the AFL, you've got to make your own sometimes. I don't think Menzies got the class.
Nah, he's very far from it. But someone who's not far from it, but wasn't far from your reach. And when I say your, I mean your Blues' reach. And that is 4-goal Liam McMahon. Would you step on down to the most pure kicking motion I have ever fucking seen, having not been in the Tony Lockett era of wonderful kicking? Oh, his kicking motion, I could just watch replays of the kicking motion, the running motion. It's orgasmic. It's pure.
Jesus. That escalated quickly, chat, didn't it?
I'm going to say, before we clicked on to live, Pom did tell me he was in a cheeky, fun mood, so I went with it.
I enjoyed that. I was not expecting that out of this young lady's mouth. So I
contain multitudes. I keep telling you, you don't believe me.
I'm not going to doubt it. I've got to say, look, Sean's in chat, so Sean knows what my chat are like, and they like to bully me about Liam McMahon.
Okay.
And you know what? Because there's a conspiracy going around that I hate Liam McMahon, so I want to put this down.
Oh, are you a hater?
Nah, absolute false. People just take what I say and take it to another fucking level, right? Right. But I said there was no need for Carlton to have him. We've got Harry and Charlie. Right. It's a Matt Kennedy situation. He's going to come to the club, be too good for VFL, never get a game. He needs to play. You're better off developing that role. And I was critical that he played in the VFL. I was like, we've got 2 kids who need to learn why you're using a VFL player as the guy. One thing I'll say about Liam, though, incredible set shot. It makes you want to roll around naked in garlic butter. Right? Right? And a big thing about Liam is he kicks. He's got something that I think he's forgotten about in today's AFL and today's recruiting. Does he actually kick fucking goals? Because the amount of times I watch draftees and people go, oh, he does this, he does that, he does that. I'm like, yeah, but does he kick goals? Like that's very important for a forward. And Macca, if he has a chance, kicks it. Probably got the best friendship group in sport as well, because I sat behind him at the BNF, and his mates were doing shoeies when he won the VFL. So great guys. And I agree, Shaky Snake. I couldn't think of a better club to be at, right? He needed to go to a bottom 3 club because I think he thrives on crap entries. And that's it. And I loved it. I thought he took his opportunities well. I love the fact that he fights. I love the way he scraps. His soccer off the deck was brilliant.
You know what I loved, Pom? I was a bit worried that he was going to be too vanilla for us, because so far he's pretty much just, he's kicked set shots, simple, pure, clean, and I hadn't seen much else. I was a bit worried that he might be too one-dimensional and too slow maybe for a chaotic forward line. But I shut all that down on the weekend when I saw him kick 2 chaotic snap goals. And I thought, okay, this guy has got it. And John Caldwell has absolutely nailed it. He reminds me of like half Mitch Brown and half Sean McKernan, you know? Like he's like a mixture of both of them.
I love these rating shows, the glaze we give players when we have one good game. We do it on the Carlton show as well. I absolutely rate it. I think I said Cooper Lord is Judd 2.0 at one point.
Wow.
I absolutely love it. You know, just the glaze. No, I agree with you. You know, one thing I'll say about Macca is you keep him in the goal square, he'll go. He'll kick goals, right? And that's all you.
All right, so let's talk. Okay, since we've talked him up, what are his? Where is he going to be found out then? What are his deficiencies? What does he need to work? What does he need to show Essendon supporters and Pom, now that I've roped you into this show, for the rest of the year to earn another contract? What are his deficiencies?
I would say, looking at your forward depth, perfect. Keep him for another year. I would say long-term with Liam, these were my reservations for Carlton. I think you are right. I don't think he has the je ne sais quoi required to be your full-time main forward, right?
Yep.
So with Liam, it's the same as the VFLs you see in the AFL. When the ball is in the goal square, deadly, he's not going to be a big lead-up option outside of 50. He's not going to have that massive work rate. He'll cause chaos and stretch a defence. So I think with Nate Caddy to come back, perfect foil.
Okay.
But I think why you have Liam on the list is if you get a draftee that happens to be his level, he's going to be brilliant. He's going to be brilliant. So I'm a big fan of Liam. He's right at that AFL, VFL level. And if you play him to his strengths, he'll be brilliant. But this is his height. This is his ceiling. What you're seeing is his ceiling.
Okay. See, that's a bit of a concern for me because so far, all the players who I see in our future, I can sense that their ceilings are so incredibly high. And even with the likes of Lual, I see something there. I see him confused, but I see him going to work in the classroom in the off season and getting more familiar with the game plan and the system and playing on the wing. But if he is at his ceiling, I don't know how that is enough.
It is enough when you look at your forward depth, with all due respect, at the minute.
True.
But like I look at it, his marks are always one-on-one. You won't see him lead it when he gets double teamed. That's when you'll see what happens, because at the minute he's not going to get double teamed. So I look at him versus Archie May. I can see Archie May getting infinitely better.
Yeah.
McMahon, this is where he is. This is his strength. So definitely has earned a year. But solid player. Being AFL average is elite.
Yeah, true. All right. So in saying all that, are we giving him a 2?
5.
Bullshit. You're just saying that so Sean and Langy don't think you hate him.
Carlton's one of the best defenses in the league.
All right. He couldn't have done much more, true? He really couldn't have done much more.
Where's the vibes, chat? Where's the vibes? 80%
Paul's on your side. Paul is with you.
He's ridiculous. 5 to Macca.
You're right. You got to take into account the opposition who were dominating. Yeah, he had a beautiful game. What are we talking about? 5 all the way. All right, this next guy.
Jesus. Jade Gresham. He's fascinating, is Gresh.
Frustrating, I would say.
He's fascinating, Gresh, because sometimes brilliant, sometimes horrible. He's another player that I always say this. In a great team, I think Gresham is the accompanying piece. I just don't think he works hard enough. Or is he involved enough?
He was like a kid at Christmas in that second half when we were humming. I texted a good friend. I texted a good friend and I said, "Oh my God, would you look at the giddiness of Jade Gresham in that third quarter? Up and about, man." But first quarter, didn't see nada, and I hate that. And that's not what the Twix Awards are about.
And that's my thing with Gresh. It was brilliant when he was killing it.
Yeah.
But when they really needed that maturity, that experience, that point of difference, that change of class, that's where you're looking at Gresh, isn't it? When you want Gresh to do what he did when you were winning and you were playing good footy, because he can make the magic happen when there was no magic.
That's right.
And other people did it. And that's the one thing that annoys me. Corey, I couldn't agree more. It's so annoying because he's an old player as well. If this was a 21-year-old, this was Archie Perkins, I'd forgive him. This is the guy who's meant to be there saying, boys, this is what we do today.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Yeah, he did. He looked like Big Dick Tracy second half, didn't he? But first half, he was sat in the he looked like the 40-year-old virgin in the first half.
So this is exactly what happened, as Don says. Does he get a Twix for being exceptionally good in the third quarter, but being so conditional in the first half?
You know what? Because I care about you on this show, Essendon, my opinion, this says where Essendon are as a football club. If they were fifth, yes. We're 15th, a win. 15th, we're a win off Richmond. Does he get a vote purely because he did well when we lost? Do you know what I mean? When we lost. And because he came back when we had a tail rag, when he should be leading that charge.
Yeah, this is how I feel. I feel exactly how shaky, like literally. This is how I feel about it. So it's a naught from me.
Yeah.
Now this next guy, again, another one who frustrates, but I am not ready to give up on Archie Perkins yet. A lot of people are, Pom, but I'm not.
Gets a lot of hate, does Perks. I had the amazing Felix on my show, and we were chatting about Perkins, and it always makes me laugh because Perkins, he cops some hate, and it does make me laugh. But let's talk about the Perkins.
What's going wrong, Pom? Because you were good, not with the vibes and reading between the lines, and you got the skill, you got the talent in doing that. What is going wrong with Archie at the moment? I think it's all mental. Like what do you think?
Drink coffee too much with Gresham and should maybe drink it with Guelphy.
Good, or Martin, or 2 meter Peter, or Merritt. Yeah, too many coffees with Fresh.
Yeah, when I watched Perkins play, and full caveat, I wasn't a fan in the draft. So these are the type of players that Pom hates in the draft. Players that look like their mum still does their ironing. It worries me. And when I watch him play, he's got private school written all over him, and I want a little bit of Frankston. And it's almost like best way I could describe it is he's got Gresham in him. He's got Gresham in it. It's like, I'll do it when it's on my terms.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is elite level football. You've got to do it and make it happen on your terms. And he was very similar to Gresham. When you were going, wow, them touches look really nice. But it's the simple things, like the handball over the top when you take contact. He handballs it too early because it's lazy. It's making sure, and you're a top 10 pick. You're either very solid and very consistent like McGrath, or you're a game changer. And at the minute, Perkins needs to decide how much do you want this, because he's a good player, but there's more. There's more.
Yeah.
To this
I think it. As you say, I think what you said in the beginning, too many coffees with Gresham and Draper and not enough with Martin and Merritt. I think it's all in his head. I think he is so in himself. He's not playing in the moment. I actually have to disagree with you. This doesn't happen often, chat, but I kind of disagree with you. I reckon when he got drafted, I think he was so himself. I reckon he was wearing his heart on his sleeve. He was standing in who he is as a person. He had the long hair, he wore the hat. I reckon he was just embracing who he was and surrendering to it. I do. And that's why his first year, he was really, really just playing like he believed he deserved to take up space out there on the field. And now it feels like they've tried to mold him into this good boy for good optics and to not actually, play to his strengths. And he's in his head about what he should be doing instead of relying on his natural flair. And I kind of see the opposite of that. I see an introvert now rather than the extrovert who came in a little bit cocky, probably a little bit, thinking that the AFL world was going to owe him something and give him something. And you probably hope that matures out of him. But in terms of that inner belief in what he brings to the table, I truly feel now it's been coaxed out of him.
You know what? I agree. And I think Shaky Snake nails it. That being defensively accountable doesn't allow him to do that. But I mean, also I agree, it's probably a confidence issue, but this is elite level sport. Like, it's meant to be tough. You're meant to have self-doubt. That's healthy. It's about how, and I would question the conditions around him. If he has lost his swagger, he's lost his self-belief, that's on him and the club to find it. But at the minute, taking that away, some of the basic execution is deplorable from him because he's capable.
Yeah.
So is this simply a case of play him in the VFL, let him get some easy touches? But simply Archie Perkins, who he is, he's nowhere near this level as a footballer. He's way better. And it's sad to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I fully believe that it's the mindset, and as you say, it's on him, just like it's on all of us to do our own self-awareness, be self-aware and do our own work on ourselves. It's on him, but it's also on the club to help him, take him, lead the horse to the water so he can drink. Because right now I don't think they actually know. And what I do know for a fact, Chat and Pom, I do know that if he goes to another club, they will get him right and he will excel and they will use him to his strengths. Whereas I'm now confident, having given Hobbs the benefit of the doubt of this season, I'm confident that I think his ceiling is not that high. And I'm confident if he goes to another club that he perhaps might just be the same player. He might prove me very wrong, but I think that Archie is someone we have to get the best out of, because I think he's going to be limited in terms of defensively because, again, that's not his spark. But I think we've got to get him right.
I think DK nails it. I think Don nails it. I think Paul nails it as well. He does remind me a lot of SPS, Paddy Dow, that type of player. That I think in a sexy team, he could hide all these indiscretions. The problem is he's playing for Essendon that need a bit of chutzpah. So if you haven't got that chutzpah, you don't deserve the right to play the sexy football. Archie Roberts, for example, can play dirty. When Essendon are good, he's going to thrive. But at the minute, he's thriving. That's what Perkins has got to do. He's got to dig deep. So big off season for Perks. Big off season.
If he stays, and I believe the club really do want to keep him, but all right, it's a 0 for Archie. What about the last man on the list? And for tonight, the other Archie, poor guy, ended up with a rolled ankle. But before then, I'm not sure he had a lot of impact. Did you notice him?
I didn't really know. I've got to give Adam a shout out as well. Great golf reference. We love a little bit of Ian Baker Finch round here.
Right, I knew I was confused. There had to be either golf or cricket or some shit, other sport.
Big part of my degree was Ian Baker Finch and the study of his fall down. So big Ian Baker Finch.
For those of you who don't know, Pom is a wonderful, wonderful golfer. I don't know anything about the sport, but he tells me he's very good, and I believe him because he's always honest with me. And Pom does golf coaching. So if anybody wants to be better at golf, Pom
if you want to be Tiger Woods, come and see me. But so I mean, you've got Luke Hodge, as DK says on the Spucks, Archie Roberts. But Archie May, you know what? I like Archie May. There is something about him. I like the fact that a bit like Blackiston, he goes hard, he attacks, he works hard, and it needs to come together. But this wasn't his greatest game. This one annoyed me a little bit because it was the first time I've seen Archie like give up.
Yeah.
Where I felt like
Yeah.
he got beat the first couple of times, and then he started to play within himself. And
Went safe.
I'm a big fan of Archie. I think his ceiling is very high. I think he could go all the way. He's got that drive. I love the story of him, the reverse of Perkins, for a young kid to not be drafted, to piss off to WA just to try and get into the AFL.
Yeah.
Says a lot about him. So I'm willing to see a little bit more from him, but that roll ankle was a heartbreaker, wasn't it?
It's a shame. It's a real shame that he rolled that ankle, because it would have been wonderful for him to, finish the year strong. And maybe he does come back against Carlton. Maybe it's just a 1 weeker, but knowing Essendon, it's probably going to be out for the half of next season too. But yeah, all right. So once again, for a second week in a row, the forwards not getting much love at all. And I guess technically Isaac Kako shouldn't really be in the forwards, but I'm not going to go that technical with these Twix Awards. So, is this true or false? Where am I, Paul? Is that true or false, Pom?
That's false. That's false. He wouldn't be.
Where's that come from?
He wouldn't be taking the lake on the 15th hole if he was coached by me. I hate shit like that. So he would have got a disciplinary if he'd come back to his next lesson and uploaded that picture to him on Instagram.
Yeah, I do completely agree with this. I'm looking forward to this draft. I think there's a clear strategy, a clear list of, ticks that the draftees are going to need to hit moving forward, and I just love that. I love that it's the Archie Roberts checklist. In fact, they could just put Archie Roberts' traits on the whiteboard and then get up. Sam Cumming, does he tick this box? Yes. What's his name that we want? The amazing kicker, Lindsay. Does he tick this box? Because Archie Roberts is really he's doing it all for mine.
It'll be interesting as well because he'll be one of them players. Rosa's obviously made some mistakes as a naive list manager at Eagles, and I know it's always a low level. Like it's the analysis I hate. Oh, when Rosa was here, this is what he did. Look at the state of him. But I also look at it this way. There is, this horrible thing. It's called the ability to learn.
Yes.
Like it's the ability.
A wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So a lot of people always hold it on Rawlins, and because Rosa was at the Eagles at the time, doing part coaching, part list management, they're like, "Oh, he ruined the club." He will have learned a lot from how sometimes you can stray from the model, which I think is what Eagles did at that time under Rawlins. They strayed from the model, and it's now bit them in the arse, and they've had to rebuild. He will have learned from that. And I do like last year, Rosa, because I know a few list managers in the trade, and I know Dodoro wasn't very popular with them, which is no surprise to you guys.
Call me shocked, and nobody here is shocked about that. Essendon supporters, trust me, if you're in the chat, you'll probably agree. Nobody is shocked about that.
And one thing that I really respected about Rosa was there was no fucking about when he did his deals. It was quite fair, and that'll be a relationship he's got to repair. So
yes,
I think I'm really looking forward to this draft this year for you guys. I think you've got some of the best picks in this draft, so I'll be very impressed.
Yeah, I'm I said today on the record, usually when you end a year and you're not playing finals, then it's all gone to shit. And with our, injury lists and our beloved Nick Martin not going to be playing, for most of next year, it's looking dire. But we have the draft to look forward to, and that's going to be busy and it's going to be wonderful. And I will bring you lots of joyful content. Before we let you go, Pommy, there's a question here from Rani, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because I am absolutely sick to effing death of this conjecture that Essendon are the only club where a player has been let go and then is dominating. Now, Patrick Voss seems to be the only player from any club who leaves a club and dominates.
Look, it happens. We've got certain.
Can you please bring some logic to this?
Who's turned into a goal kicking mid when we've we probably could do with a mid. You've been through it before, though, haven't you? D'Ambrosio, as Paul says, spot on. D'Ambrosia's one. I think it's hard. I think when I look at Patrick Voss when he played for you guys, did he have the potential to be this good? Yes, he did. Was he this good? Absolutely not. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't this level. So I think this change of scenery for Patrick Voss has done him good. I think the time out of the game did him good as well. I think there's a lot of eventualities. You've also got to remember, can you imagine playing for them? It's absolutely tasty, isn't it? Like, it's absolutely tasty for him. And I also think the big thing as well is you go back to when he was playing. He left, a couple of years ago? 2023, didn't he?
Yep.
Different club mindset as well. You weren't really blooding the youngsters. You were sticking with the same old. You probably stayed on it too long. And it's like that change of scenery. I look at Blake Acres. There was a great comment by Richard, the attitude. Blake Acres, he was notoriously a bit of a dickhead at Fremantle when he came to Carlton in 2023. He had that year.
Mm-hmm.
So change of scenery. You've got to mature. You're out of home. New things. So it's always
But also, Patrick Voss is not getting the delivery at Essendon. It's a miracle that Liam McMahon's kicking goals because the delivery is it's just a shit hot mess that Patrick Voss is not doing at Essendon this year what he's doing at Freo. I can guarantee you that, Ranny and chat. I can guarantee you that he's not excelling like he is because look how much space there is in the Freo forward line. Look how much space Patrick Voss has and look how congested our forward line is. Everybody is in a big huddle. So it's a completely different forward line to be working out of. So I'm pretty confident that Patrick Voss would not be excelling like he is at the moment. Yeah, he's great for the vibes. He's got good vibes. He's up and about. He's a bit of a dickhead and, he's a bit of a cult figure. Sure. I'm on record for saying that I was more upset about letting him go than letting Massimo go. But I honestly watch Freo and watch him at Freo and I watch our poor forwards try and read and try and, make a lead in our forward line and receive a ball that's going high and long on top of their heads with three defenders hanging off them. And I think there's no way Patrick Voss is making anything of that.
It's always one of them is that probably you'll drive yourself mad if you start thinking of if onlys. Because the other thing that I hate people doing is when they go back through a draft and they're like, oh, pick 8, we took this guy, but pick 48, this guy's a 8-time All-Australian. And I say that Carlton fans are the worst for doing it, so don't do it. It beats you up when you start doing that. Because I remember every draft I've been a part of, and I remember like some of these players having potential, but I think if I had my time again, would I have taken him here? Probably not. You would have looked like an idiot to take him. Same with Voss. I mean, he had a solid... from memory, I remember him. I think he kicked 4 against us in the juniors in VFL his last year at Essendon. But like you guys are saying, behavioural issues, if that's true, when you change clubs, that's a massive change.
Exactly.
Massive change. But it's hard to say. Like, just see what you've got. If you start looking at what you haven't got or what you've lost, you won't allow yourself to enjoy it. Remember, my pop used to say to me, comparison is the thief of joy. And
absolutely. Exactly. Well, that's a wonderful note to end on. We get a bit of everything on the Twix Awards show with me and Pom. Once again, I hope I'm not ruffling any Carlton feathers too much. There is so much Pom love to go around, so I'm just taking a piece every week. So thank you once again, Pom, for a wonderful show. I've thoroughly enjoyed your company, and I know the chat has as well.
As always, I'm looking forward to doing the next 2 weeks. I mean, let's hope Carlton win. Can you imagine my next Monday when I've got to do a then I've got to come and do a review show of you winning?
Hey, I'll make a deal with you. You can win this week against Port, and we win next week against you. Are you happy with that?
Not really, no. I like to win. I like to win all 3 games. It'll be it'll be a huge test, won't it? Of my neutrality that week. So you'd be very surprised. I'm one of the good Carlton fans. I'm one of the good Carlton fans. Even if we win, I'll be very humble.
Always one of the best. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy, so much. Appreciate that.
Maybe put me in the suitcase if this bank balance gets higher.
Absolutely. No, you. If this gets any higher, you're getting a ticket on the plane. All right.
Where are you
Florence.
going?
Florence. It's Fiona in Florence.
Is this like Bridget Jones's Diary?
No, just quickly. The energy is we're going to win when we win the grand final.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the fan cam. It's going to be an all-nighter, obviously. Then I'm doing fan cams wherever I am celebrating, wherever I end up with a Wi-Fi signal. It'll be a drunk fan cams. And then we're all going to make our way to the hangar and see the presentation of the medals and the players up on stage. And then since we're at Tullamarine, we're going straight to the airport and we're going to Florence, to Italy. And then on the way back, we've got a Virginia regular in Nick and Tammy in this chat usually. And we're going to, on the way back, if there's enough funds, if people donate and the account balance is up high enough, on the way back, we're going to stop by Virginia in the US.
Okay. What an obscure place to go for a celebration. Florence. Like, this is something straight out of William Shakespeare, this, isn't it? Like, it's hardly the place I think, right, my team breaks a 30-year dock.
That's why Paul is suggesting it's 2050. That's why I feel like I can achieve it, because I don't have the money to do it now, but maybe when Essendon win the premiership, I might.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just thinking like Tuscany, like you're going to a part of Tuscany to celebrate. It's not like in the top 3 places I'd think, let's go and get absolutely drunk.
I'm going to be honest, Moby came up with it, and it was just because the alliteration was so beautiful, and Italy is my home country, and anywhere in Italy is absolutely perfection to me. And so I'm going to be at the top. What was the thing? I'm going to be at the top of the Duomo, and everybody's going to be dancing below, and we're just going to bring the party to Tuscany and to Florence, and then we're going to party on the way back in Virginia with Tammy and Nick.
Absolutely. You know what? You've got to have a dream, and you know what? I hope it comes true. I mean, that's brilliant.
Hey, you believe in manifesting, and I think I've talked about it on every single show since it came up, and so I'm doing my job, and Jeremy is helping me, and so is Mariella, and everyone's coming.
I can see it now. Do you know what I mean? You can have that horrible grape juice that the Italians call wine, can't you?
Don't you go ending the show on a?
Hey, look, I'm not. It's heavily known. I'm not posh. I'm the working class. I don't drink wine or things like that. I'll be drinking. What's a good Italian beer? What do they always force feed? Peroni. Yeah, they always force feed you that when you go to an Italian restaurant. You're like, can I have a beer? And they're like, we don't have beer here. We have Peroni. And you're like, it's beer in it, mate. Come on, just open it.
Yeah. I mean, this is a high probability. How many supporters will do a soft tissue at the Hangar Premiership ceremony? I don't care. I'm still getting on that plane. Come hell or high water.
Hey, Richard's a man after my own heart. He knows Italian beer as well. Hey, Richard, you can stay. Mate. I love this from you, mate. Hey, well done. I'll hang around with Richard. He can just translate. Goon bags. Hey, there's a wine.
Okay, this is really bringing it down. No, this is bringing the level down.
State heart of this pom. Look, wine should be in a bag.
No. All right. We've talked enough shit. Thank you so much, wonderful people. Please like the video and subscribe on your way out. Much appreciated. Please go head over to Pommy and Oz, Pommy Show, and show him the love. He's doing an absolute kindness to us, joining me here on Monday nights, and we get him. The season is over, so it's only another 2 weeks. Well, another 3 weeks we get him, because you're going to have to front up for the Suns game. Unfortunately, Carlton will be done, but we'll still have Bomber Banter and the Twix Awards to keep.
Yeah, I got an extra week.
Woo! Oh, here you go. Azza's Pomzilla. Azza is here as we are on the way out. All right, beautiful people. You will get your Fiona's forecast tomorrow night dropping, and then I will see you all live Thursday night for the live team selection, and hoping to have a St Kilda represent for that show. But if not, it'll be yours truly, and you can jump on and have a chat with me too. As always, thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you all very soon. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.